Hello and welcome to another episode of Thoughts Shared, Souls Bared. I'm Katie.
I'm Jill.
Today we're going to be talking about the musical TV shows that we've experienced in our lifetime. So let's talk about Glee. Let's talk about Rise. Let's talk about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and of course, Smash.
Smash. My favorite.
Going forward the next couple of weeks, we're going to be going into each of these TV shows a little more in depth, talking a little more about them, but just as like a general overview of the shows. Jill, have you watched all of these shows?
I believe I have, actually. I really think that I have. Let me see. Let me think. Yes, I have. Well, I didn't watch the last 2 episodes of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. So I'm not caught up on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
So wait, Zoe's Extraordinary, hasn't there only been one episode in season 2 yet? Or did you just not watch the finale of season 1?
I didn't watch the last 2 episodes of season 1 and the first
episode. Oh, girl.
Yeah, no, I'm like, it's because when they aired, I was at my most depressed. So I was like, and I texted my friend who was watching it and I was like, should I? And she's like, no, don't do it. And I was like, okay, it's solid. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to it, but I will eventually because I do love Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I think it's so much fun. So I will get around to it.
Yeah, I think I've seen all of these shows, except I did not watch how many seasons of Glee were there? Were there 6 or 7?
6, I believe. 6 or...
I never watched Glee after Cory Monteith died. Like that season starting, so that was after 2013, whatever season started in like the fall of 2013 and onward, never watched. I did a couple months ago just go in and kind of scan through on Netflix to see what was going on there, and it was weird. I said, who are these characters? Who are these people? I do not recognize any of them.
So my whole family, other than my mom wasn't into it, but the rest of us, like me, my sisters, my dad, we were all very into Glee when it first aired. We all sat down as a family and watched Glee. Like I would go home from dance class and we would watch Glee together. And my sisters loved it. It was really nice to be able to watch musical oriented things with my sisters, because my sisters weren't big on musicals. And so it was nice to be able to watch them with them because it was pop music in a musical fashion and they loved it. So it was fun. And then we stopped all watching it around season 3, I think beginning of season 3. But I still watched it, just not as I as I did it first. And then middle of season 4, I kind of stopped watching it, but I have seen it. I did still watch them. I just didn't really care as much. So I've seen it all the way through once. Technically twice, but I paid attention all the way through once last year when I rewatched it. So 2019 when I rewatched it. And I'm gonna throw out a controversial Glee opinion real quick, if I may, because I'm not the biggest Lea Michele fan, because we all have heard horror stories. I'm not the biggest. I used to love Rachel Berry because I was she's just written by a man, so she's just poorly written. But now looking back, I'm maybe I didn't actually like Rachel Berry. But I loved the Rachel in New York arc, which I know a lot of people didn't, but I had a lot of fun watching that.
That was after I stopped watching, so I have no opinions on it.
It wouldn't have been after you stopped watching, because you said you stopped watching after Cory died. That was before Cory died.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. That was season 4.
I clearly stopped paying attention.
Yeah, I was gonna say he died season 5. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't remember. Glee was a lot. It was a lot. I have a friend.
It's a fever dream.
The thing I appreciate about Glee, even now, as wild of a show that was, is it did introduce a lot of people to a lot of show tunes, a lot of theater.
Oh yeah.
Even it was very instrumental in my life. I think.
I agree.
It showed me so many show tunes, and it introduced me to a lot of shows in general. I think it was very influential of the time. I mean, there was a point where like every Broadway star wanted to get on there.
Yeah.
And
a lot of Broadway stars before there were Broadway stars auditioned for Glee.
Mm-hmm. Well, Laura Dreyfus was on. Laura Dreyfus was on Glee.
She was, yeah, at the end of the show.
Yeah, and then that show gave us like Lindsay Pierce and Alex Newell, and while yes, of course, Star Kid was a thing with a Harry Potter musical, it really like skyrocketed during Chris's career.
Well, it was a more mainstream thing for him to have been able to jump off of. Like Star Kid wasn't really mainstream in the media sense. It was mainstream in the fandom sense, but not in the media sense.
Yeah.
So
my friends and I were like obsessed with the Harry Potter musical. And it was really interesting to watch. I even think that some of the storylines were very, very good. Again, everything was wild and not at all possible in a lot of situations. But I think that it was a really interesting, it was definitely a cultural reset.
Oh, it absolutely was. Like,
it was a game changer.
I saw on Twitter recently, in the like 5 minutes that I was on Twitter last week, there was like someone tweeted, or I guess it was a couple days ago, they tweeted and they were like, I'm gonna start, like, every time I meet a celebrity, like an actor or something, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I loved you in Glee. Like every like major actor or something, because it was like
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, like Gwyneth Paltrow, Kristen Chenoweth, I can't even, oh my god, there were so many.
Idina Menzel,
Matt Bomer. Matt Bomer still blows my mind that he's in it.
The fact that Rachel's dads were played by Jeff Goldblum and Brian Stokes Mitchell.
Like
Brian Stokes Mitchell.
But it's funny because if you watch the pilot, and like knowing that, because that's like that's the canon throughout the whole show. In the first episode, because like I've said before, like in our other podcast, pilots are often done so differently because the plots are all very different within the pilot. And then like once it gets greenlit, then everything gets changed. So like in the pilot of Glee, Rachel's, one of her dads is black and the other one is white. And she's like, it's really exciting because we don't know who my biological father is, and it makes me laugh every time because I'm like, oh dear God, I hate this show.
Like from the pilot, they said, let's be controversial.
Okay, but it's Ryan Murphy. Are we really that shocked?
But it's also, but I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of funny.
Oh no, she's
like, we don't know.
Hilarious. Like she's that stupid that she genuinely is like, who knows who my biological father? Like, girl, stop.
Girl, we know.
Like, oh, she's horrendous.
Yeah.
From day one, they wanted Rachel Berry to be the worst person you could ever dream of.
Well, the intro of it is her literally being the worst person. She's like, I wake up in the morning, I do this, I do that, and then I put videos of myself on singing. And she just goes, on my own, pretending he's beside me. And it's like, I do think it's funny. I do like the fact that they incorporated their audition songs into their shows, because that's what she auditioned with. And also like watching her audition tape of her being like, we need to go back to the first part. Like I'm like, oh, you were Rachel Berry from the moment you step foot in that audition room.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she just is Rachel Berry.
It was written around her personality. Yeah, so we'll go more in depth about Glee. Clearly, we have so much to say.
Oh, Glee is a lot to unpack.
So much. Whereas like
the Glee curse.
Oh my god, truly, I'm like scared of that. That's wild.
Yeah. And it's gotten like, it's not even that like, I don't even think it's something to joke about anymore. Like it's genuinely a terrifying thing to think about, like given the last year. Like that, it's still, Naya Rivera was a huge part of my childhood because of Glee. So like, I don't want to discuss it, but
Yeah, it was
All of
wild.
that.
We'll talk about that later. And then we'll talk about Rise, which was the short-lived.
Rise.
Was Rise on NBC?
Mm-hmm.
It was like the short-lived, gritty version of Glee on NBC, set in Pittsburgh or something.
Like that, yeah, something like
with
that.
Ali Carvalho and oh my God, what's his name?
Josh Radnor
and Damian
Gillespie. I love him.
Thank you.
He was so good. Oh my God, him and Ali Carvalho had the best on-screen chemistry in like a television show that I've seen in a very long time. Like I loved watching them.
It was just like very much like, we're gritty. We're gonna put on Spring Awakening, the grittiest show ever to hit Broadway, all about angst, where every single song is about masturbation.
I'm pretty sure
not kidding. That
show on the podcast with you. Probably. I'm pretty sure I talked about this on the podcast with you though. It's like I don't ever say this with like malicious intent. Like I don't ever say this like genuinely believing that he is a bad person. I need to put that out there before I say whatever I want to say. Josh Radnor gives me anxiety because I grew up watching him on How I Met Your Mother because my sister was obsessed with it. And so like all I see when I think of Josh Radnor is Ted Mosby. And so like whenever I watch him in like Rise as like a high school drama teacher who's like really close to his students, like very much Will Schuester close to his students. Not that close, but
like I said, gritty Glee.
It's not nearly as bad as Will Schuester. I'm going to say that right now. Like he is in no way comparable to Will Schuester. But every time I think about him in Rise, I'm just like, oh, I'm afraid to be around him. Like, I would be afraid to be in a room with him. But I have heard nothing but the good things about this person. So, like, I feel bad saying that, but it's just like, when you go from Ted Mosby to whatever his character's name is in Rise, it's a jarring thing to experience.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I can't do it. It stresses me. And then like him in that movie Liberal Arts where he's like,
does he only play teachers? Does he only play professors and teachers? He's like, I am a teacher. Everyone learn from me.
Yeah.
Because in How I Met Your Mother,
Ted Mosby is.
Well, Ted Mosby is an architecture professor, I think.
No, he's just an architect.
Yeah, but then he is a professor of it at one point.
But for the majority of the show, he's just an architect. But he also just has that very like uppity vibe about him where he's like, let me teach you life because life is the way that it has happened to me. Because that's essentially what the show is.
Because the show is How I Met Your Mother. Him telling how.
But it's just like, it has always made me, like Ted Mosby has always made me uncomfortable. I've never liked Ted Mosby. Like, I don't trust him. And whether that's because I don't like that he ends up with Robin or I don't know. Anyways, that's not a whole. That's
spoiler alert.
Okay, if you haven't seen How I Met Your Mother at this point, come on. It's been like 10 years since it ended.
I'm not gonna lie. The finale of How I Met Your Mother made me. Because I was a fan of it for years before it ended. And I was watching it and I was so excited to like get home from work and watch the final episode. And when I tell you, I cried watching that final episode because I was so angry with what they had done.
And it's funny because like
so angry.
So my sister and I felt the same way. And I have a friend who is like huge How I Met Your Mother fan. Like how I am
6 years ago.
Like how I am with like SVU and Graceland. Like, you know how I am with like my TV shows. It's that, but with How I Met Your Mother. Like that's how my friend is. And so like me with Gossip Girl, that's essentially what it is. That's what I should have said. So like she loves it. It's like her favorite show on the planet, which, you know, valid because I did love How I Met Your Mother from the moment it aired to the moment it wasn't airing anymore. Like I loved it. But she has this theory on like why How I Met Your Mother, why the finale is actually good. And it's because I don't know the exact thing. I'll send you like her TikTok about it. She made a TikTok about it. I'll send it to you, Katie.
Okay, please do.
Yeah, because like when she explains it, it makes sense. Like if I were to explain it, it wouldn't make any sense. And like after she told me that the first time, I was like, okay, you've made some points. You're valid. But at the same time, I was like, but at the same time, think about how young I was and like how impressionable I was when I first watched this. Because she didn't start watching it until I think the last season was airing. Like it was like how you were with Gossip Girl, where she was able to catch up, like to watch the last season or whatever. And so I was very young and impressionable when I first watched it. So like it hit me harder as like, this is a bad finale. Whereas like with her, she was a little bit older and a little bit more mature. And so she was like, this is a good ending. And I'm just like, I can't fathom it being a good ending. Because I was so young when I watched it that like I cannot fathom enjoying the finale of How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother, it made me so angry that I have not gone back and watched a single episode since that finale. That's how angry. No, I lied. I watched the episode where Barney runs a marathon. That was it, because I was really into like the New York City Marathon last year, and still am, and because I will be running it.
Your microphone's messing.
Yeah, because I was like really into the New York City Marathon, because of a lot of reasons, but also like I was supposed to run the New York City Marathon in 2020.
You're gonna
do
it.
I mean, I kind of have to, because I kept on with my like contract with the organization I'm running for, so I'm running it sometime within the next 3 years.
Yeah,
just don't know when.
I tried to rewatch How I Met My Mother last year, so in 2020 I tried to rewatch it. I really genuinely tried to. I'm gonna say that because my friend seems to think that I didn't actually try. I did genuinely try to, but like in this day and age, it doesn't hold up as well as I wish it did, because like I do still enjoy watching it. I will say that I did still enjoy like my rewatch. I didn't finish the rewatch. I only got to like season 3. I did enjoy what I rewatched, but it's like
there's a lot of seasons.
2020. Yeah. Well, that, and it's just like there's a lot of very offensive jokes, and I hate saying jokes because like they're not funny. They're just like offensive things that were done and said in the show. And like she even admits it. She's like, no, like it's absolutely problematic. Like I completely agree. But it's like, what isn't problematic? And I understand that, but it's whenever you loved something so much, like growing up, and then like you go back and rewatch it, and it's like unwatchable now because of like human beings, and like you're like
because of your
not newfound open-mindedness, but like
the way you've lived your life, like your life circumstances.
Right. And so it's just like, it's really hard to rewatch. It's very, very hard to rewatch for me. Because like I never watched Friends, and I don't think I ever will, because I don't like a lot, like from the scenes that like I've seen on like Twitter and stuff, I don't like it. I don't think it's funny. I say that, but like I grew up watching Saved by the Bell, and there were some problematic things in Saved by the Bell. But like I grew up watching Saved by the Bell. That's a like comfort thing for me. So like and let me tell you though, that new Saved by the Bell hits different. It is so good. Oh my god.
It's on Peacock?
Mm-hmm. And it's so good. Oh my god. It's a super fast binge because it's like 30-minute episodes. It's like 9 episodes. So it's like super easy to just like get through in like less than a day. So, and it's very self-aware, and I love media that's self-aware. Like, you know how much I love self-aware things because I think that they're just like the best. And Saved by the Bell is like, they call out the problematic aspects of the original show, which I think is important. Like if you're going to reboot a show, do that. I think it's so important. And so like there's a scene where this is so off topic from musical shows, but like there's a scene where Zach is like telling his kid, and he's like, you know, it's funny. When I was in high school, we would just have a conversation with an adult and our life problems would be fixed. But I don't think that actually works anymore. like he goes, he was like, I filmed a PSA on drugs that solved drugs with the like NBC like CEO or like chairman or whatever the heck it was. And he was like, I don't think that actually did anything. Like he was like looking like genuinely thinking, he's like the governor of California, and he's like, you know what? I don't think we did solve drugs.
No.
And it makes me laugh every time because I think about that episode, and it's just so funny.
But back to Josh Radnor. Sometimes
I
just whenever I think about him, I always make myself remember that there was a 2011 concert production of She Loves Me, and it was him and Kelly O'Hara as Amalia and George.
Wait. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing because hold on. I just can't picture it. I can't picture it. I don't know. Like
because I also
like Josh Radnor's a caricature. I don't think he's a real person. I feel bad saying it. I'm not trying to be mean. I just like I genuinely cannot fathom this man. I can't understand it.
Well, no. Do you want to know who else was in this concert?
Oh God.
So it was Kelly O'Hara as Amalia, Josh Radnor as George, and then we get the superstars Jane Krakowski and Gavin Creel, who reprised their roles in the 2016 Broadway revival as Ilona. I
love them so much in those roles. Oh my God.
I know, as Ilona and Stephen. And then Victor Garber was Mr. Marichek.
That tracks. That's really good.
Tom McGowan was Sipos, which
that makes sense. That's good.
I want to say he plays that role in the pro shot or the live stream of She Loves Me.
Yeah.
But he was Michael McGrath played the role when it like originated, or not originated, but he was that role in when it returned to Broadway. And then as Arpad, it was Rory O'Malley. And then the head waiter again, Peter Bartlett, who reprised his role in 2016.
That he was so funny in that. He was so good.
But like that's the only scene that he's in.
But it's funny. I swear he was so good in it.
There was a point, it was really weird, where every time for at least the first 3 times I'd been to New York, I saw Peter Bartlett in a show, just by coincidence.
That's so random.
So the first time was I saw Cinderella. He was in Cinderella. And then I saw Something Rotten, and he was in that.
Who was he in Something Rotten? I don't know much about Something Rotten, so like I don't know anything.
Honestly, Something Rotten, there's a couple of roles where I'm like, what even is this?
I would love to see Something Rotten with a gender bent cast.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. He was,
you know, like how badly I want to see like Assassins with the gender bent cast.
Yeah,
I would love to see.
He was Lord Clapham / Master of Justice. Do I remember anything about that role or that character? Absolutely not.
I was about to say those words mean nothing to me. As someone who has no idea what Something Rotten is. Like I know what it is, but
the thing is, I've seen Something Rotten 3 times. I couldn't tell you anything about that role.
I was supposed to see it. My sister was supposed to take me for my birthday one year because it was in Cincinnati, like on my birthday, and we were gonna go. But then like something came up and we ended up not being able to. But like the only knowledge I have of Something Rotten is like my cousin's dance recital, because my cousin played like William Shakespeare. And then like his sister had to be like one of the like ensemble dancers in the number, and she hated it. Like she was like, I hate having to be like William Shakespeare this and William Shakespeare that when it's my brother. I was like, okay, that's a fair point. That's very valid.
Oh my God.
She was like 12 when she had to do it. She hated it.
And then I saw Peter Bartlett in She Loves Me. And that's the last time he's been in a show.
I'm trying to think of someone that like I've seen multiple times. Does Max Clayton count? Because I would see anything. Sure. And Morgan Marcel, my queen.
Well, this is just like people that by coincidence you've seen a lot. And for me, it's Peter Bartlett. And Adam Pascal.
I'm so jealous of that. Every time you bring it up, it makes me want to scream because I'm so jealous.
For some reason, I've seen him a lot.
I love that man so much. Oh my God.
I feel like there's another one, but I can't think of it right now. Yes. Oh my God, what's his name? What is his name?
Something.
John Rubinstein. I saw him 3 times in Wicked and twice in Pippin.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Like that's weird.
Good. but the thing is, like, it was the 3 times in Pippin, or the 3 times in Wicked, same production of Wicked. The twice in Pippin, I saw Pippin twice in 1 week because I loved it so much.
How can you not? Pippin's fun. Like, Pippin is just like an enjoyable show. It's just like nice.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's I think we can move on to the next show.
Yeah.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
We like started talking about Rise and then we ended up in the most random conversation.
Well, we went Josh Radnor, She Loves Me, She Loves Me. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on How I Met Your Mother. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a show I adore.
It's so good.
Like, to the point where I'm fairly certain I told you this. I was at the finale. Like, I was in the audience of the finale.
Yeah.
Am I on screen? Not one bit, because I was in the literal last row, and they filmed it over 2 days. Yeah. But yeah, I went to that finale taping. It was so much fun.
I started Crazy Ex-Girlfriend the first time I watched it. Like, I started the show, I think, my senior year of high school. So 2017, like early 2017 was when I started the show. I believe. I could be very wrong about that, but I believe it was. Either that or it was my freshman year of college. So it was 2017, 2018. But I got all of my friends into it. Like, I got so many of my friends into it because I was like, oh my God, it's a musical show. But I was like, but it's a musical show you guys would enjoy. And they were like, what? And I was like, no, like, it's about like mental, like, it's literally the core of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is mental health. Like, that's like the very core of the show is about mental health. And me and all my friends were big like mental health advocates because we all are just a train wreck and like we all have all these issues. So I'm like, you have to watch it. It's so good. And it's very like from what I've read and like from what I've seen, it's very like very accurate. It's very good. Like, it's a very good portrayal of like all these different things. And so like a few of my friends watched it and they were just like blown away by how like genuinely funny this show was. And it's like they were like, I don't even like the main character, but like I love the show. And I'm like, okay, me. Because like, same. That's me with a lot of things though. I tend to not like main characters. I love like supporting characters more than anything.
I think something that's so interesting about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and we'll get more into it on the episode about it, is it starts out just kind of like, oh, she's the crazy ex-girlfriend. And then you like get in more in depth with the term crazy. Yeah. And I think that's really interesting. I think the way the thing is, like, I love that Rachel Bloom was able to sell a show featuring her. Do you know what I mean? Like, because she's not, especially on on the CW, where everyone there the thing I love about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is these are people who look like normal people. These are people who, like, the characters, the actors, look like the people you see around you. Whereas on typical CW shows, they're all models. They're all hot. They're all this. They're all that. Whereas Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is like, we're going to set it in West Covina, which was, I swear to God, I remember where I was when I saw the trailer for the first time. I was waiting for my drink at Starbucks at Disneyland on Main Street. Stop. And I was with my friend who lives in Covina. And I was looking at this and I was like, I thought it was a joke. Like, I saw one of my friends had posted it and I thought it was a joke because I grew up going to school in like in Covina. And so all of my friends were from like Covina or West Covina. And so I thought it was a joke. And then I was like, oh, this is a real TV show. So it was really interesting to be like, oh, that's supposed to be that. That's supposed to be that. And then they would like name check random cities. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, I know that. It felt very.
Didn't you work at Raging Waters?
Yes, I did. My first like real job was Raging Waters, working admissions. It was a weird time. So Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a wild show for me to like watch and be like, That's insane. Because they'll go like, oh, San Dimas, Azusa, Glendora. There's a song where they literally, I think it's in the final season, where they're like, trapped in a car with someone you don't want to be
Yes,
trapped in a car with,
yes.
and they just start naming all of the cities. They just start naming all. They go to like, they're like Monrovia, like Monrovia, Alhambra. We already said Alhambra. And
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh my god. And then they're like,
Oh my
Ontario, Covina, West Covina. Like, it's a whole weird thing.
So good.
So
My
yeah, Crazy
favorite
Ex-Girlfriend means a lot to me.
I love Crazy Ex-Girlfriend for so many reasons. Like it's so good. But like one of my favorite things is like Rachel Bloom really was like, I'm pretty sure she said this at one point, like in an interview or something. I vividly remember this. I could be like imagining it, but I want to say that she said it. She was like, I like wrote this show because I was like, I'm not getting cast in anything. I'm not like, she was like, Broadway won't cast me. They won't take it as like a musical. So like, why not write it as a TV show and like pitch it to like the CW or whatever? And so or, like pitch it to like all these different networks and stuff, which I think is so amazing. And then like
Well, that's the same reason why Lin-Manuel Miranda was such a big proponent of like getting himself and his friends in and getting In the Heights to Broadway. Right, because like nobody would cast him, but at the same time, like his singing voice, not the best. His artistic ability, phenomenal. Yeah. His singing voice, not the best.
Right. But then like I love and this is such like just like me being a theater nerd, and anytime like musical theater gets referenced in like TV shows and stuff, I lose my mind. But it's like the subtlety of like the musical theater references in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, like in the dialogue, like not even just in the music, but like in the dialogue itself, is one of my favorite things on the planet. Because it's like she'll just slip it, like she slipped in, oh, my Playbill subscription is like like stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. Like I love little things like that. That's like, yes, I'm still a theater nerd. Yeah, I'm on TV, but I'm still a theater nerd. Like I'm still like a musical theater performer.
Oh yeah, girl went to Tisch.
Right. So good though. Like I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I love Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I think it's also one of the shows that like my dad started watching and enjoying too. Yeah. So that was interesting. That was pretty cool. What else do we have on here?
Smash.
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is the show that's actually still on. New episodes are airing. I like the show.
I love it. I think it is so much fun, and I think it's interesting because it's like something I've always loved, and like a lot of people don't like the idea of jukebox musicals and like jukebox things, but I love it because it's like it's got something for everyone. Like jukebox musicals that aren't like centered around one artist, like Mamma Mia, like something like that. Like Glee and Moulin Rouge always makes me laugh because it's like Glee is like the Moulin Rouge for like another generation, and that always makes me laugh because it's not entirely untrue. Because it's like Glee broke the jukebox the same way that Moulin Rouge does.
Yeah, everything's a mashup.
Yeah. And so, but like I love Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist because it's like a new generation of Glee with a much deeper meaning to it, and much more of like a centered plot and much more developed characters in the way that you want to see them developed. And like everything about it is just so much, I mean, it's better written because it's like not in a high school and like not like a high school drama situation. And it's just like, I don't know, it hits you in like every emotion, every episode. Like I haven't watched one episode where I haven't felt every single emotion possible just through the music alone, like just through the musical performances alone. I just think it's so good.
Yeah. I agree. And I think that I really, really enjoy getting to see Alex Newell again on another musical TV show, and especially of course Skylar Astin again.
So good.
Mm-hmm. Mo, and then Skylar Astin, to see him again, really great. I think that like what's interesting is like the whole idea of, oh, it's your heart song. 'Cause it's like, because the thing that I love about musical theater is the music starts when you can't express anything else with just your words. The music is there to add that to it. So, there's always, there's like always a song for everything, like to express, whether it's through the music or through the lyrics or the combination of the two. It works in that way. And I think that's so interesting, the way that like Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, which the only thing I have a problem with is that name, that title. That is a mouthful.
Wordy. Like it's like
and it's not a roll off the tongue title. It's like Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Like, how many syllables do you want in there? Like having the word extraordinary, no, that was a bad idea. I would literally like, I feel like we should just call it like Zoe's Playlist. Like, I wonder if that's what a lot of people they're just gonna drop it.
I feel like a lot of people do call it that.
Yeah. I feel like at some point they should probably like drop the extraordinary.
I'm trying to think of what the song is that, like, there's a scene with what's his name? Hold on. Simon. It's the scene where they're doing like a whole, like, it's like a lyrical dance number, and he's doing it in his kitchen with his fiance, and it's either right before they break up or right after they break up. But like that song, like the way he performed that song was just like the most gut-wrenching thing I've ever seen on television. Like, it genuinely was like, I don't know, like I think the dancing added to it. Like I think that the fact that they had like a lyrical dance routine in conjunction with it, because you rarely see lyrical dance in musical theater anymore. Like it's just not the norm in a lot of shows and a lot of TV, like musical things. And I love lyrical. I think it's so good for like a lot of different reasons. But there was like that scene, I vividly remember that scene. I just can't think of what song it was. But it was just so gut-wrenching to watch it, because it's like you're literally watching a man fall apart. Like in that scene, you're literally watching a human being fall apart. And that happens so much throughout the show that like you just see these people at their most vulnerable emotions. And that's not something that you get as well as Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist does it in other television shows, because you don't have like that added bonus of like having them performing a musical routine with it.
I was very skeptical of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist before I like watched an episode. I was very skeptical. I was like, this is gonna be bad. This isn't gonna be good. Because there's another musical TV show, but it just didn't get any press. I cannot remember the name of it.
I know what you're talking about.
It was called like, oh my God, what was the name of it? It had the guy from Greek on it.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it when Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist started airing. Like you and I like had a conversation about it, I'm pretty sure, because I was like, yeah, what happened to that? And like nothing else came of it. Like I don't remember.
I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, nobody ever talked about it. It was on Netflix.
Which guy from Greek was it?
It was oh my God, I'm like on IMDb looking for him. Paul James. Yeah, Paul James. The TV show was called Soundtrack.
Yeah. I love Paul James. He's great.
But it's on Netflix. I feel like you and I should have we should watch that and then discuss it also.
Yeah. I just added it to my IMDb watch list. I'm gonna watch it.
And then
it has Jenna Dewan in it. Are you kidding me? Of course I'll watch it. My God. I love her. Anyway.
And then we're gonna talk about Smash. Another cultural reset.
You know how much I love Smash.
The thing is, like, Smash was Smash dramatic as hell. Like, truly.
But it's so good. But
it was so bad, but like in the best way. It gave us like the amount of just stay power it had. People still obviously people still talk about Smash. Like,
it is still relevant. Like to this day, Smash will never not be relevant.
And I hold to this. Had Smash come out 2018, it would probably still be running.
Even 2016,
or no. What about? I think, okay, it was this sounds dumb for like Smash. It was ahead of its time. It came out just a couple years too early because people were like, oh, it's just like another Glee. Like nobody wanted to watch that.
It was way too soon after Glee.
Way too soon after Glee because it was 2011, 2012.
I think it was 2012, 2013.
Well, I'm wondering if it was like 2011, 2012 air season, 2012, 2013 air season. Do you know what I mean?
IMDb has it as 2012, 2013.
Okay. Then that's what it is. They know more than I do. But Smash, if it came out like 2015, right when the buzz of like Hamilton started, it may maybe not still be on, but it would have had more than 2 seasons.
Oh, absolutely.
Because after Hamilton, people were like, Broadway.
Right. Everyone was like, theater. I need more theater. I need all the theater I can possibly get. And then Grease Live happened in January of 2016. And that then kickstarted like, oh, we need more live television musicals because that was so good. Let's have more of that. And then they weren't good after that. But like,
well, I mean, there were some before. There were some before Grease Live.
Well, like no, but I'm saying that was the best one. Those didn't get as much. Those did not have near the ratings.
You're right. I do agree. I do agree that Grease Live is probably the best one. Like unbiased, I do think it was the best one.
It is the best one. And that's not even just me being a psychopath. Grease Live is just the best.
It was like the reason.
The Wiz Live is number 2 for me though. The Wiz Live is my second favorite for sure.
The reason I watched Smash was because Megan Hilty. She was my first Glinda.
She's my favorite ever.
And also Christian Borle. I was like, oh, that's the guy from Legally Blonde. And Brian Darcy James is like, hell yeah, that's Shrek. That's what I knew Brian Darcy James was right when it came out. I was like,
it's just like Shrek. Every time anyone says it though, because the amount of times I hear someone say that, it never doesn't make me laugh because it's just so funny to me.
Look, it's because true.
I don't like Shrek the musical.
I do.
Don't pay attention
I think it's fantastic.
I don't like it. So like me growing up with like Shrek the movies, because my dad loves Shrek and like so me and all my sisters do. Me growing up with like the movies, I'm like, Brian Darcy James is not Shrek. Mike Myers is Shrek. Because this is gonna be so embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it anyways. When I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, I saw it a few times in theaters because I love Queen. I love Joe Mazzello. Anyways, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for saying I love Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't care. I saw it a couple times in theaters, and then like I've seen it a million times ever since. But the first time I saw
Bohemian Rhapsody is good. The fact that it completely deviates from reality is what's not good about it. As a movie, it's good.
For a second here, I just want to discuss how well cast it was, though. But that's another thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But because like even my dad, I took my dad's Christmas present the year it came out was me going to see it with him, and because like he raised me on Queen, so like we were gonna go see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Did your dad ever go see Queen like in concert?
I don't know actually.
Mine did. My dad was
we wanted to get him tickets to see Queen in like their like reunion tour, but my dad was like, "It's not Freddie Mercury, it's not John Deacon. We're not going to see it." And I was like, "No, absolutely," because I have the same opinion. I feel the same way.
You know, my parents saw it, or my dad saw Queen like in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
At their like Day at the Races tour or something like that.
Oh.
Like okay. The tour to see Queen.
Right. Like, okay. But when I saw it, I was like, Mike Myers is in it. He is like the recording label guy, whatever.
I don't care how cheesy that scene is. I think that is so good.
Scene. I think it is the funniest scene in the movie. But when I watched it the first time, I didn't pick up that was Mike Myers. This is so embarrassing. I always say this, and I feel like it's the most embarrassing thing I could possibly tell someone, but I didn't know it was Mike Myers. And then the second he yelled, I go, that's Shrek.
Oh my God.
And it was so embarrassing because I was with my roommate, Evan, who is like a hardcore Shrek fan. She loves Shrek. And we were like sitting in the theater and he started yelling and I go, that's Mike Myers. And she was like, yeah. get out of the movie. And she was like, did you really not know that was Mike Myers? I was like, he started yelling and all I heard was donkey. Like that.
Oh my god.
It was so embarrassing. Oh my. Anyways, back to Smash.
So yeah, it had all these people in it, and then season 2
Jack Davenport. Around. I love Jack Davenport. Anyways,
Ann Harada. Like
I love Ann
Harada. season 2 rolled around, and it's like, here's Jeremy Jordan, here's Andy Mientus, here's Krista Rodriguez. Like Smash it truly gave the fans of Broadway everything they wanted.
Yeah.
And, or I should say the fans of Broadway in like 2011. Like,
and season 2 had the whole like Rent plot line essentially with like Hit List, and it had, I mean, okay, I love the songs in Hit List. I do. I still to this day don't fully understand the show.
I need to rewatch season 2.
Like I know the plot of it and I get it, but at the same time I'm like, would that be a good show to like? I'm like, would I actually enjoy seeing it? Like I love the Hit List concert. I watched like the Hit List concert or whatever, 54 Below. I watched it on YouTube a few months ago whenever Ben posted like the thing, whatever. But I am such a Bombshell fan because like if you know me at all, you know how much I love Marilyn Monroe and how obsessed with Marilyn Monroe I've been most of my life. Like I know everything about Marilyn Monroe. And so like I was so excited when they were like, oh, Bombshell's being made into a musical. Like it's going to be a stage musical. I was so excited. And then they threw us that little curve and they're like, just kidding. We're going to do Smash the musical. No one wants it. Nobody wants it. Like they announced that and everyone was like, oh, that's the news. We thought it was going to be Bombshell or Hit List. Like everyone was like, do we need Smash the musical? No, I can just go watch the show. Like there's no need to have that on stage. But like I love the idea of Bombshell the musical so much more than anything else in the show because I think that having it centered around the men that ruined Marilyn Monroe, like the men that controlled her every second of her life, is the most genius way to
and not just men, because her mother is also involved.
Right, but like the fact that there's like that scene where it's like the like that. Because I don't like a lot of Marilyn.
There's more men that were controlled.
Yeah, like there was essentially men that like ruined her life. But I have always hated like a lot of Marilyn movies and a lot of like Marilyn miniseries and stuff because like they're not accurate. They're not well cast. Like there are just so many issues within them. So I've never enjoyed watching them. I don't watch many of them because I'm like, I know it's going to be inaccurate. I know that you're going to focus on like how she's a sex symbol and like you're not going to discuss the fact that she was so much more than that. Like she was so smart. Like she was one of the smartest women on the planet. And like she had so much more to offer. And these men didn't care. They hung out with her because they were like, oh, you're a sex doll. Like that was, but like I want to see something that shows how vulnerable and intelligent and like amazing this woman was. And Bombshell did that. Like Bombshell showed her intelligence on a whole nother level while also being like, but here's how these men perceived her. Like it was such like the perfect blend that like I want Bombshell to be real so bad. And the music in Bombshell is so good. Like I listen to it to this day. Like my graduation cap at the end of the semester, like as soon as I get my cap and gown, I'm going to decorate it with lyrics and public relations. Like I am so excited. Like I love the music in Bombshell. I mean, Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman. I'm a whore for Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman. But like I love Bombshell. Like I could discuss this for like years because it's my favorite thing on the planet. But
yeah. Also, the thing that I think is wild about Smash is that when Steven Spielberg like said, okay, this is what we're doing, his intention was, okay, and at the end of this, we're gonna have an actual Broadway musical.
Yeah.
Like that was his intention. He's like, and after that, we're gonna like stage the Broadway musical version of this.
Yeah.
Which I think is like really interesting, but also like, oh, honey. Come on now. Dude apparently loves musical.
Have you read the book that Smash is based on?
No. I didn't know it was based on a book.
I bought it. Yeah, I bought it and I have it. It's at my apartment. I have it. I've never actually read it, but like I bought it years ago, like probably 2014. I found it at like Half Price Books. And I bought it and I just like never read it. Maybe I should do that this year. Maybe I can add that to like my things I want to do this year is read Smash, because I feel like that would be a good thing to do. But it's a thick book. Like it's a pretty thick read. But I
Oh my god, it's from
Smash-
1980.
yeah, it's old. Like my copy
Jeez.
my copy smells like an old book, which is my favorite scent on the planet. My third favorite scent. Sorry, I have like top 3 favorite scents because I'm insane.
Mine are rubber tires, like new shoe, and plastic. Like the
What is
smell of
wrong
like
with you?
the smell. I love the smell of chemicals, baby. Give me them
My favorite
chemicals.
My favorite scents are.
But you know what I mean, like those
scent.
the like pool toy blow up things. That scent of that like plastic.
Yeah, that's fair. My favorite scent of all time is wet cement. So like not like wet like rain, wet cement. So like New York City when it rains, girl.
New York City,
It's my
the fact that
favorite thing on the planet.
it smells like wet cement and cigarettes, and I'm like, give it to me.
It's my favorite scent in the whole entire world. And
Baked
then
cigarette,
I love
not heavy cigarette.
yeah. I love the smell of like old books. That's one of my like I could get high off of it. I love it. So my mom literally got me like homesick candles for Christmas. I love homesick candles. I'm obsessed with them. And I love the New York City scent. So she got me the Bloomingdale's New York City scent. It smells so good. And then she got me book club because she was like, ever since I was a kid, I've always said, like, she posted on Facebook like 8 years ago, like a few months ago, like 8 years ago, a quote of me being like, can they just make perfume that smells like books? Because like I've always just loved the smell of books. And so she got me the book club candle, which smells like a nursing home, but in like a good way, like in a not gross way.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. Like I really like it. But what's my other favorite scent? Oh, flannel from Bath and Body Works. That's like my other one. If you've ever had the flannel candle or anything,
Oh yeah.
that's in my top 3 because I have like 1,000 of like the car scents that are flannel. I have 1,000 of the candles. I just stockpile them every time there's a sale. I'm like, give me all the flannel that I can get. It smells so. It's been my favorite scent since high school at Bath and Body Works. Like I love it. Anyways, we deviated from Smash.
We did, but that's fine.
And that was on me. That's on me.
I don't know how we started talking about scents, but
because I was talking about how my Smash book smells like really good.
Oh, oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, I really want to rewatch Smash, but the thing is, it's not available like on a good streaming service. It's available.
Oh, I have the DVDs,
IMDb.
so I don't.
Like it's not on Peacock. If it were on Peacock, I would absolutely do a.
You can still watch it on NBC, can't you?
I don't know. You can watch it on IMDb TV, but you have to watch it with commercials. And I don't want to do that.
That's like the only way I can watch Catch Me If You Can, other than like pulling out my DVDs and stuff. And I'm just like, ugh, I hate it.
Oh, Smash. But yeah, I'm very excited to get into these.
Notice how we didn't discuss Katharine McPhee when discussing Smash, and it's because I have never liked her, and now I just hate her even more.
I've never in my life thought about Katharine McPhee.
As you shouldn't, because she's always irritated the hell out of me. My dad loved Scorpion when it was on. Like, he was obsessed with that show.
What is Scorpion?
I don't know how to explain it. I don't understand it myself. I mean, it was good. I just like, I don't get what it, like, I don't really know what the plot was. But she was in it, and my dad like loved Katharine McPhee. Like, he was like, she's so pretty, and I'm like, okay, she's cute, but like, other than that, I have no, like, I feel very off vibes from her. Like, I always felt very uncomfortable by her presence. And then like when I watched Smash, I was just like, still don't like her, and I especially hate Karen Cartwright. Let me freaking tell you, like, I could not stand Karen Cartwright. She was the worst character in Smash, in my opinion. I despised her. Like, she really thought that she was like entitled to play Marilyn. Shut up, get out of here, sit down, go away. That's just me being annoyed with like horrendous castings of Marilyn. Because Megan Hilty is like the reincarnation of Marilyn Monroe. But I don't like her at all.
Yeah, so those are all the shows that we're going to be getting into. We have got Glee, Rise, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Zoe's Playlist, because I'm not saying extraordinary. And then Playlist. And then maybe, yeah, I think we should watch Playlist. And then Smash. Whether or not this comes out consecutive weeks or if we span them over time.
We're just space them out or whatever, yeah.
We'll see how it goes. And it'll be fun. It'll be great. Welcome to 2021. I know we said that last week.
We've already had some people say that they want to come and be on the show, so.
Exciting things, which is why I was like, oh, we'll space things out. However we want to space things out.
It's our freaking podcast. We can do whatever we want.
Exactly. This is coming out not this Monday because this upcoming Monday is the one where we just blathered.
The most random episode.
The 11th. This is going to come out. Okay, this episode's coming out on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
That's the day before I start classes for the semester.
Exciting.
It's also the week of the inauguration.
Happy inauguration, everyone. Stay safe. Stay safe.
I was gonna go, but I'm not going anymore. Considering
I can't imagine they're actually gonna do it outside. I feel like it's gonna happen inside of the rotunda.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the safest and best place, both for COVID crowd reasons and also, to not try to stage a coup. Those people are so stupid. By the time this comes out, I swear to God, things are going to be so weird and so different. Like, I feel like, oh my God, I can just imagine these next 2 weeks are going to be insane. So, yeah. Until next time. Jill, where can people find us?
On Instagram and TikTok, we are at Thoughts Shared Podcast, and our personal social medias are mine are at It's Jill Hayes on all platforms.
And me, hi, I'm Katie. You can follow me on Instagram at Complete Katie or on TikTok at Katiefornia. And until next time, we'll the next time we talk to you, there's going to be a new president. I mean,
well,
yeah,
there will be 2 days.
No, there will be. The next time we talk to them, because if we record this, next time we record, we'll be on like the 20-somethingth, unless we change it because giving 2 days turnaround is not fun.
We're going to fix that.
Also, fun fact, we have a new podcast.
Yes, we do.
Jill, tell them about the podcast.
We have a Gossip Girl podcast because as many times as I reference it in this podcast, I figured might as well start a new one. Our other one is called The Ultimate Insiders, and as of when we're recording this, which is January 8th, we are only on Spotify and Pocket Casters. But our bio on Instagram, which our Instagram is at The Ultimate Insiders, our bio will constantly be updated with new streaming links for where you can find us.
So exciting. So if you love Gossip Girl, you're going to love this. So until next time, bye.
Bye.